Expendables, Expend4BLES, 4Pendables. I don't know what the name of this movie is. All I know is that it's terrible. Alonso, do you dare even begin to describe the plot of this totally unnecessary fourth Expendables movie?
Is that the biggest one you've got? Oh, it's way bigger than that.
Iko Uwais is the bad guy here, even though he's a very charismatic hero when given the chance to do so. And he is stealing a bunch of nuclear detonators from Gaddafi's old chemical weapons plant in Libya. Why? Well, because of things and bad, nefarious stuff that's going to happen down the road. Can the Expendables stop him? Well, at first, no. But then later, maybe. Stallone is back, and Jason Statham, and now Megan Fox is on board, and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson has joined the team, but returning are Dolph Lundgren and Randy Couture. And this is... I'll put this up front. I've never particularly cared for this series. I like the idea of the Expendables. When they first announced the first one, I thought, oh, that's a fun idea. Let's bring back these sort of retired older action stars and give them one more shot in the spotlight and let them show these youngsters what's up. And these movies have never delivered on the kind of fun premise that they offer. And this one, least of all. It is not fun. It is not directed with any sense of style. The action scenes just kind of lie there. The visual effects.
Special effects.
Yeah, the visual effects are embarrassing. Like one of the few times, for all the wisecracks and one-liners this movie tries to lob from one character to another, the stuff that made me laugh most consistently was the green screens. So yeah, this is pretty much a waste of time and talent.
And the movies that they are paying tribute to, if you can even call it that, it's not like it's a classic genre. It's not like they were a rich, fertile ground to dig into and explore. Right. It's not like crappy Jean-Claude Van Damme movies are important or substantial. Like they're meant to be throwaway, crazy action and martial arts stunts and whatever, and then shut your brain off movies. I'm not a big fan of the phrase shut your brain off movies, but that is what those are. And it's not even a parody of them. It's like an homage to them.
And making you wish you were watching one of those old Jean-Claude Van Damme movies instead. Like this movie wishes it was reaching that level of entertainment.
And it's just a huge waste of people with incredible talent, like incredible artistry and athleticism in Iko Uwais, in Tony Jaa. What do they have to do? And because so much of what we go to a movie like this for, in theory, it's the action, it's the stunts, it's the choreography, and they're all shot with shaky cam, and they're all edited so frantically that you cannot even appreciate what these guys are good at. There's a big fight between Iko Uwais and Jason Statham on a big ship toward the end, the big climactic set piece toward the end. And at one point, his hands are so fast. They're like for a second, they let you see what is so stunning and so singular about this guy as an artist. And someone behind me was like, whoa, because that was a cool moment in a movie that is desperately bereft of them.
Yeah, and working against the idea of them. I kind of feel like when Tony Jaa and Iko Uwais get put in these Hollywood movies, it's like they don't want to show up the American stars, so they don't really unleash them in a way that they do in the movies that made them famous in the first place. And so I think I made the joke on What the Flick once that you could put Betty White in one of these movies, and with this much editing and jerky cam, she too could be the master of the martial arts, because you don't get to see these guys. It's like when we talk about dancing in movies, you get one uninterrupted flow of motion. And you don't ever get that with these guys. So it's why are they here except for your memories of when they got to do what they're good at in movies that actually showcase that?
Yes. This is not exciting. What is exciting, though, is watching sports on Fubo TV. Your team might not be on air in your town, right? And maybe you're thinking about cutting the cord. You're not enjoying cable. Fubo lets you stream untold numbers of sports channels and entertainment channels. And we have a deal with them right now with Fubo Pro. You get your first month 15% off with a link that we have for you down below, just for our friends here at Breakfast All Day. So go check them out. They have not just sports, they have like every soccer game ever, probably known to mankind. If you want actual action and artistry that you can see and follow, that's available to you on Fubo TV. But if you want to watch like entertainment, like Dr. Pimple Popper, she's there too. It's all there.
Many is the time I'm looking for a movie on a streaming service and it's on Fubo. So they've got you covered in a lot of ways for your entertainment needs as well as your sports needs.
Yes, Fubo Pro. Go check them out. Anyway, we laughed a lot at things that I don't think were intended to be funny. And the green screen is like laughably bad. That is so bad that I almost thought was intended as a parody of what these films were like, because the lighting is so flat, like regardless of what situation they're in, the lighting is always the same. There's a whole long sequence, like a big chase through what I guess is Gaddafi's like old weapons storage arsenal. Yeah. And it's like eternal. It's like 1,000 football fields long and it just keeps going and going. And Jason Statham will like pop his head up. I'm like, what is happening behind him? What is almost like they're in a car and it's like a bad like rear projection in a car.
Oh, it's exactly that. And the thing is, like, those old movies didn't do this because you didn't have this level of like CG fakery in the 80s. They had to actually like go to Malaysia or someplace and film, you know, Gymkhana or whatever it was they were doing. And these movies are taking the easy way out. So you can't even like say, oh, they're just paying tribute. No, because the JCVD would never. You know, it's just bad filmmaking and people they didn't have on set long enough and who didn't want to make the effort. I mean, you and I just went back and rewatched William Friedkin's Sorcerer, so maybe we're spoiled, but like, oh man, there was a time when people would go to the place for a movie and shoot in the difficult location and get the shot, and now it's faked. And so it comes down to how well is it faked, and in Expendables 4, the answer is badly.
Yes, practical effects. What happened to them? Also, we got to talk about just the totally flimsy way in which they depict the two female characters here. Yeah. Like Megan Fox shows up with like full extensions, like tits out, full perfect makeup to go do this covert mission. Yes. And then, like, this is a spoiler, but later on, they're all hanging out at a bar, you know, trading swaggering, snappy banter. The dialogue is so cringy, all of them trying to make fun of each other. And like, it's like she forgot her bra at home. And it made the whole place laugh because she shows up in this white tank top and like you can see
the air conditioning was on.
It's chilly in there in the South in the summertime. You got to, you know, keep the beers cold. It was so funny. Like, it's not even sexy. Like, it's just hilarious. It's so like drawing attention to itself, to themselves. I'm like,
like even her first scene, like the idea is supposed to be that she is justified in being mad at Jason Statham, but the scene is staged in such a way where she does nothing but scream and throw things like a crazy irrational person. and Statham is alone like, women, what are you gonna do? It's like, what year is this?
There's exactly one. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And then later, she's supposed to be like super spy, assassin, you know, like commando leader, but like the lip liner is always perfect.
Yeah, she can do it all. They say, women, you can't have it all, but you can in an Expendables movie. There's exactly one. Right. You can't afford a bra. It's my choice. But one interesting idea here is that in between missions, Jason Statham's character, Christmas, which I guess makes this a Christmas movie, takes a job as a security guard for this total jerk influencer. And the way that goes down is actually a little bit funny. And so there's a whole fish out of water thing that could be going on here, which is preferable to the story that they're telling, which is like, what if someone who has this like totally violent, like badass past tries to live a normal life doing odd jobs? Like, that was a funny bit. I'm like, I kind of want more of that.
Well, they weren't interested in that. They gave you your straw man influencer, you know, he beats him up and we move on, you know? And so, yeah, this just feels so incredibly phoned in and lazy. And again, a classic example of the Gene Siskel rule. Would a documentary of this cast eating lunch have been more interesting? Unquestionably.
Yeah. What's your number?
1.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 1. And like, that's just, I don't even know why it gets a 1. Couple of cool fight thingies here and there when you can see them. All right, Expendables 4, don't go.